Morning, everybody. Bottom Line Tuesday time. Oh, Thursday. Wrong day. Wrong day. Brad
Recording
Johnson.
on a Tuesday. This
Recording
is
on
a
a
Tuesday
Tuesday.
morning. That's all right. We'll keep
Right.
running with it. We'll keep running with it, Brad.
It's all good.
Thanks for joining us.
Maybe we should do it twice a week. No, that'd be a lot.
That'd be a lot. That'd be a lot.
Well,
So
okay.
I saw you had a whole section on updates from GLP-1s and all the things going on. So if you want to run through some of those, that would be great.
Yeah, and I know that many of our folks that tune into this, we've talked about this topic a lot, but I will say the reason that we do nearly every employer meeting that we have still has a conversation on this. So I think the news is still coming out, and we just want to share the key things. Let me read just a couple headlines that got my attention, and then both of you can chime in on the one that caught your interest the most. So the state of North Carolina offers a health plan to their state workers, about 700,000 members, and they determined in January they can no longer cover the cost of weight loss drugs, or it was going to double the employee contribution.
Yeah, absolutely.
For everybody. So that's one. Next one, AP did a nice blog post, and if those folks aren't enrolled in that, AP talked about what's the future of GLP-1s and what does it hold.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just a couple things. They talked about, there's going to be new formulations coming out,
Yes.
but at the same time, shortages. And, I've read a lot of the problems has to do with not only the medication, but the applicator, like the thing that sticks you to put the medicine in your body.
True.
This next one did catch my eye. So the Cleveland Clinic had a study that showed that Metformin, a very inexpensive $4 drug.
Been around forever.
Yeah, it actually has some weight loss benefits, not to the extent of these brand new drugs, but they're now considering that, at least some of the providers there are using that as a first line of defense for someone that wants to explore these other drugs, because $4 versus 1,000.
Right.
Study showed like 30% of people that took it could lose 5% of their body weight. And then
I think those were the three we were gonna cover right now, because I think those three were the main headlines that you had, and then I know there's a couple of others we're gonna share a little bit later in the month. But I think let's go back to North Carolina. I think that one's interesting. I know we've got we have a couple of employers that are starting to consider, do we add this in as a weight loss coverage, and until costs come down, at least through the injectables, it's not there yet. Right. I think we were running some numbers from a book of business review and saw that it was going to add about $44 per member per month in cost if this client base within a certain carrier in our market added weight loss coverage for the plans. So, that was basically a 40% increase in the per member per month pharmacy costs to allow it. And that's if only a few people started taking it, not everyone that could be eligible based on it. So I get it.
I had a client last year that refused to put prior auth in for GLP-1s because they didn't want to be the doctor. And our GLP-1 spend went from 200 grand to 1.4 million. I said, now are you ready to put some prior auths in? Because you're not the doctor. You're just putting in a prior auth that says, hey, here are some things that have to be done. And Brad, I have a client now that's saying, I'm not paying for a GLP-1 until I can see evidence that they were on Metformin, or they were on Novolog, or they're even getting test strips. They're even testing their glucose, because now I think there's 2 commercials a day. Hey, call us. We can get you that GLP-1 drug. And there's a lot of bad behavior out there that they're shoving these through insurance plans. And just to be clear, I don't care if you take a GLP-1 for weight loss, as long as you're not running it through your health plan, because it's not FDA approved for weight loss.
Yeah. I think the challenge comes back to the shortage aspect of it. The studies that we have, and again, we don't have enough data yet to know, but so many people, this is designed to be a long-term injectable. It's not supposed to be like a 3-month program and then you're good, because most people are gaining back weight, whether they're on it for type 2 or not. that's the challenge, is then you're going to have to stay on it once you start it. And I don't think we know enough of what that's doing to your body for the long term. This has probably been a 2-year process that we've seen so far.
Yeah, it's
I am encouraged by the Metformin option that Cleveland Clinic's looking at, because that might be exactly what we need to look at. Is this is going to be paid for. You can buy it for next to nothing directly from a lot of pharmacies. How do we use this to really help improve people's health? But it's not 20 grand, it's 100 grand a year.
exactly it. I mean, there is
Or
enough.
$100 a year. Excuse me, not 100 grand, $100 a year, not 20 grand.
There's enough evidence to say that a person taking this for weight loss are benefiting beyond the weight loss that they're actually losing. That, they are drinking less, a lot of those, addictive behaviors have gone away.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I go back to a meeting I was at UHC where they had their pharmacy director, and they're like, at $14,000 a year, we cannot pay for this drug for the benefits outside of weight loss. For $3,000 a year, we could then start justifying covering this, but not at 12 grand a year. It's impossible. But yeah, it's a hot topic, Brad. I'm glad you're still throwing it in your Bottom Line Thursdays, because there's something new every darn month that's coming out on this,
Yeah, this metformin thing at least can be introduced to those conversations with groups to say, okay, maybe we walk before we run. Instead of taking the untested, well, I shouldn't say untested. The drugs have been tested, but we just don't know the long-term effects. Metformin has been around forever. Really low side effects, little nausea. It sounds like at first is the key side effect, and then a lot of folks get over that. But 5% of your body weight in 6 to 12 months. If you weigh 200 pounds, that's 10 pounds. That might be that summer bathing suit type of cure versus the GLP-1s. And again, not to say that people might not need that extra strong dose of the other stuff. But I think a lot of people just want that, wow, it's there, it's the easy button. I get it. Totally get it. But I think that it's a whole balance on cost versus benefit for the health plan.
Good stuff, gentlemen.
Good topics as always, Brad. Thank you.
We'll
All right. See you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.